Hello everybody, and welcome back to a game called Tiny Bunny. This is my third episode, and man oh man, do people love this game. I've gotten great support on playing this game, and I really thank you guys. Now, let's get right into the story, because we all like that stuff. Okay, let's load straight into it. I squinted from the sun and turned my eyes to the sunless forest. It looked especially dark in contrast with the blinding whiteness. Knobby trees' roots slithered under the snow like fat snakes. You know, snakes get really fat. Rotten leaves and coniferous needles froze into the ice. Dry, prickly branches intertwined, bringing up uncomfortable thoughts about fences. Were they protecting the forest? Or were they keeping something from breaking out? Some object was hanging from one of the pointy branches. You know, I think that's quite a clear object on what it is. It looks like a glove. I tried to get closer, drowning in snow, and when I almost got to the edge of the forest, I saw a knitted mitten. It looked like a wounded bird among the hungering semi-dark. Should I take it to the police? Their senior officer looked gloomy, but he still reminded me of Captain Casanova from my favorite TV show, called Streets of Broken Lights. He was always anxious, with a tired look in his eyes, but still brave and strong. Will this mitten help him find the lost boy? Vova. What the heck does that mean? I heard a distant sound. I heard a distant shout. It looked like it came from the river. Okay, well, I guess I don't need to say that since I heard it. As if the trees were calling out to someone. Vova resounded closer to me. Someone was standing there, behind the trees, hiding. I knew someone was looking for the lost boy, but still, something was unsettling about that figure. Its stillness, how it bent unnaturally toward the ground, its blackness. There's no one there, just branches and roots. It's all my imagination. A nearby bird flapped its wings loudly. A shadow split from the tree and disappeared from my sight. Did you guys see that there? I thought I saw something there. I looked away for just a moment, and when I turned to gaze back to the same place, it was gone. So, it was my imagination after all. Silence reigned for a painfully long time. Oh, I was about to jump out or something. I don't like this. My muscles were tightly sprung. My heart was beating somewhere in my throat. Any noise, any little movement, any small whisper from the thicket, and I'd sprint. Give me 1 sec, guys. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Just had a good moment. Any noise, any little movement, any small whisper from the thicket, and I'd sprint. But nothing of the sort happened. I looked at the mitten once more. I want to take it. I decided to take the lonely mitten from the branch. Vova. A shout rumbled across the field and dissolved in the distance. No echo, no hope for a reply. I stepped toward the bristly tree and tried to claim my find. It didn't budge. I pulled harder, the branch cracked, and the mitten tore off, landing in my hand with a squishy sound. It's all too heavy, wet. I squeezed it without thinking, and something dark spilled from it, forming a tiny string between the mitten and the snow. Steam rose from the snow pile. Oh. It froze in place, studying my palms in disgust. Red. The sound of crackling branches invaded the silence. I didn't have to think twice before running away. Something was chasing me from the darkness, breaking pine branches, closing the distance with giant leaps. Snow was slowing me down. Crazy thoughts flew through my mind. I'll get caught. They'll get me. I'll get dragged into the thicket. I'll be gone forever. There was one more voice, probably one of reason. It gave me strength, spurred me on. You can do it. Don't stop. I heard an animal roar behind me. It was so loud my ears went numb. It felt like the sound had come from a pack of hungry beasts, rather than one single beast. Their nostrils sucked in freezing air. They sensed my fear. Two giant wings flapped above my head. An enormous shadow flew over the clearing. A hoot, a wheeze. The roars were coming from all directions now. From the dried up raspberry bush, from twisted pines, from under the waterfall. Windfall. Hurry, run, don't look back. It felt like I was inside a nightmare. The snowy clearing became vicious like quicksand. I was stuck in place. I pulled my leg from the mushy trap just to be caught in a new one, even deeper than before. I continued to drown, sinking deeper and deeper with every desperate push. Was snow ever this sticky? I screamed in horror after realizing that this wasn't snow. Someone or something in the snow pile was clutching my pants, gathering all my strength and rushed forward. The pressure on my legs was gone, my boots slipped out of the hole, and my soles on a hard surface again. I reached a clear path with one jump, and from there, ran to my house. Its gloomy facade didn't look threatening now. The house was my line of defense from the shadows that flapped their wings and the creatures that were hidden under the snow. I tripped over my doorstep and smashed into the door. In all my hurry, I managed to notice the claw marks, as if a dog was striking the wood with its paws, demanding to be let in so it could escape the cold. I hadn't noticed these marks when I was leaving. My heartbeat in my ears was much louder than my surroundings. I couldn't hear whether someone was following me or not. What if they were already in our front yard and Mom had locked the door? Drowning in fear, I pulled on the doorknob and it obediently gave away. I rolled into the hallway and shut the door behind me. Porch planks creaked as my pursuers ascended the stairs. My fingers slipped off the lock and I couldn't click it into place. I gritted my teeth and pulled hard on the iron knob, whipping it between the boards. I stared blankly at the door. Someone was standing on the other side of the pitiful, flimsy barrier that was probably less useful than blankets. Wheezing breath reached into the house and crashed at me in waves. It smelled of pine and sweat. My mom peeked out of the kitchen and chastised me with the same frigid voice she always used when talking to Dad. What exactly didn't you understand when I told you never to slam the door? I didn't mean to. I snuck a glance at the door. The smell was gone, and the breath was too. If there was someone in the first place, of course. Here, Mere 5 meters away from Mom, my fear was slowly weakening, melting like snow in spring, and with it the last bit of strength I had left in my body too. My legs gave way and I propped myself against the wall so I wouldn't fall over. My mom's expression had changed immediately. The cold mask of strictness and detachment was gone. Mom looked the same as before all of those quarrels. She finally saw my condition, my wet pants plastered with snow. "Where have you been? What did I tell you, huh? I told you to stay home. Am I nothing to you?" I got afraid she would cry. I reached out to her like when I was very little and wanted her to cuddle me. But Mom regained her composure fast and put on her usual face. Her eyes shined like steel. Her voice rang. "Your dad can't find his cigarettes. Be honest, did you snatch them? Were you smoking in secret?" There was someone chasing me, I thought. I stuttered as soon as I started explaining myself. Tears welled up in my eyes. Mom leaned toward me, sniffed my clothes like a beast, searching for the smell of tobacco. Then she squinted her eyes in suspicion and looked into the front yard. Her expression changed in an instant and she covered her mouth with her hand. "Look over there, at the fence." My heart started thumping as if I became prey once again, and my pursuers were following me in the field. I could swear that I've heard something scratch at the door, just like in my nightmare. My mom beckoned me with her finger, and I gathered all my remaining bravery to look into the kitchen window facing my fear. I could barely discern some hairy silhouettes swimming in the snow through the icy winter patterns on the glass. Dogs. It's just a small pack of strays with no name or owner, barely reminding of the hungry monsters that live on the edge of the forest. "Oh boy, you were scared of them?" "I think they'd rather be scared of you, Ann. They were chasing me, like a bunny. And what if they were rabid?" The smile had slowly disappeared from Mom's face. Now she looked at the dogs as if it were her first time seeing them. "What if they attacked Alya?" "Mom? I wish your dad could shoot them all." "Whoa! Mom, look, they're alive." "Huh? What? Are they your friend or foe after all? Make up your mind. You're not a little kid anymore." "Well, I don't think he wants to get them killed." Mom sighed in annoyance, and I felt so bitter that I bit my lower lip and fixed my gaze on the cobweb-ridden corner. Well, some detective I am. In reality, I wasn't risking my life among monsters, but rather my pants among a pack of stupid strays. And what for? What use do I have for this mitten? Of course. A dark and sticky mitten that belonged to the lost boy made a squishy sound in my hand. Seems like I was clutching it the whole time. That's my trumps card as a detective. I hurried to present this clue to my mom. "Mom, look, this is Vova's mitten. That boy the police were asking about in the morning. It's drenched in blood. I found it hanging on the tree. I can show where. Let's call the police right away, like the officer has told us to." "Mom, look." "Ew." A shadow of doubt slowly crept into Mom's contorted face, as if she was trying to remember something distant, like someone tried to remember their dream, but the images slipped away. "Stop at this moment. Oya will go insane if she hears you. She already has trouble sleeping and whines all the time. And you joke around like this?" At that moment, I realized the mitten was actually wet with snow. There was no blood whatsoever. I wanted to sink through the floor from embarrassment. "Come here, my boy who cried wolf. Oh, don't just stand there. Come take your pills." A golden-colored pill, reminiscent of a dead wasp, fell into my palm. I already took one during breakfast. Don't talk over me. I told you to stay home, and Dad would have given you a good whipping for that. Come on, take it, or you won't be able to sleep at night. You have school tomorrow. So I had to swallow the bitter medicine, drinking it down with a similarly awful water that gave off a taste of chlorine. Well, that doesn't sound good. Maybe it wasn't Vova's mitten. Maybe it wasn't a mitten at all. Just like those forest monsters. And Olya's owl. Am I going mad? What's happening to me? Either the pill had an immediate effect, or my overexerted brain didn't let fear inside anymore. Serenity washed over me, bringing a yawning indifference along with it. Anton, you done? See, you can do it when you try. Take off your coat. Are you asleep? No, Mom, I was just thinking. What about, I wonder? It's just something silly. My mom scrutinized me with suspicious eyes, as if she wasn't sure what she was looking at her own son, and not some doppelganger that came from the forest. Is everything all right? You had that exact same expression when the policeman asked you about the window. I'm all right, Mom. She heaved a deep sigh. Fine. It seemed like the house had changed. The sofa's fabric had become discolored. Fingerprints appeared on the bathroom tiles. The light bulbs also felt different, dimmer and yellower. Even saliva inside my mouth had a different taste. A melody from Aladdin could be heard from the upper floor. Olya was done rewatching her favorite Little Mermaid episodes and switched to the other tapes. I slowly changed into my home clothes and stopped before the sink and studied my reflection in the mirror, like I was trying to solve one of those spot the difference puzzles. When I went upstairs, Jafar and Lago's voices died down. I walked past Olya's bedroom and slipped into my own. Is this all I can do? One of my drawers was empty. I hid them in there. This simple action drained the last bit of strength from me. I sat on the bed, and only then I noticed there was someone behind the curtains. My tired hand dropped to the sheets. Whether it was due to the medication I took, or the stress I underwent, the room began to contort, as if the wind was blowing the walls out of a pair of sails. The room's corners bent and undilated. I think that's what that was. The only stable thing in the whole room was the figure between the windowsill and the curtains. A flimsy piece of cloth was stuck to my hidden visitor, just like a savant of sorts. Olya? Who else would be standing there? I stood up, licked my dried lips. Yeah, Olya, it's so funny. The silhouette was unmoving. It was enveloped softly by the curtains, as if there were a thick layer of darkness there, not a human being. I reached toward the curtains. Ba-dum, beat my heart, controlled by medicine. The wind sang in the field, with a chorus of voices. For a second, I wanted to return to the bed, just lie down and watch the person behind the curtains, knowing full well they were looking back at me. They were looking without blinking, waiting for me to fall asleep. Plastic rings rustled against the holder when I pulled open the curtains. Gotcha. I knew it was you from the beginning. A blindingly bright halo lit up Olya's head. With with the setting sun as the background. My sister was shining. When she was just a baby, Dad always used to say she was shining with happiness. I always retorted, "But Dad, she's not some flashlight." But I brought her to the window one day, and the sunlight poured on her smiling face. It felt like I was holding a child woven from light. I saw everything. Oh, really? What did you hide? She was just like Mom when she was little, before she put on her sad mask of tiredness and switched to her commanding tone of voice. "It's nothing, Jess." Alia ran up to the table, her eyes round, and asked, "You stole something and hide it there? Are you a thief?" "What? Don't be stupid." "I didn't steal anything." A clearer image came to mind, that Mitten hanging from a tree branch. What if I did steal it after all? From the forest, from the tilted figure standing behind the black trees. Alia could be selfish and stubborn when she wanted. Then show me. Swear that you won't tell anyone, then I'll show you. Alia wore a plotting smile. I swear on Mom's heart. An oath she heard in one of the movies about the pioneers we watched. Don't say things like that. Alia nodded and made a gesture with her hand, locking her mouth with an imaginary key. She was filled with curiosity that was splashing in her giant eyes. I opened the drawer and Alia leaned in, holding her breath. It looked like there was not just a simple mitten, but some sort of exotic critter. Is this someone's mitten? She said that as if she couldn't understand what she saw. A certain lost boy lost it and got lost himself. Now, you do understand how dangerous it is for kids to wander in the forest, right? He must be really cold out there. Will they find him? They will. The police are going outside, going house to house, showing his photo to everybody. Alia traversed the room with care and pressed her tiny palms against the window. And why are they going to houses and not the forest? Are they scared? The question caught me off guard. The police aren't scared of anything. Yeah, right, flashed in my clouded mind. Did they really check every nook and cranny where darkness, cold, and whispers of icy branches dwell? If that's the case, how did they miss the mitten? Or did it appear later for me? I changed the topic, as if trying to get Alia as far away as possible from the forest thicket. We may get a reward if I go and find this boy myself. A lot of stuff, like in Field of Wonders. Sounds cool, right? Alia wasn't listening to me. She was piercing the forest with incredibly adult eyes, uncharacteristic for her. What if the owl got him? Nonsense. An owl won't be able to lift a human. But you know what? I was picking my words with utmost care. I forced them out of my overexerted brain. Stay away from the forest. I think it's, how should I put it? It's cursed or something. Just like in a fairy tale? No, not like that. More like in that spooky tape Mom and Dad are hiding from us. Alia shivered and stole a glance at the window. I saw you running away. Something was chasing you? No, it's just I was hurrying back home so Mom wouldn't be worried. As I looked at my sister, my heart was tearing apart. She was so fragile. It was so easy to stifle her light. A gust of wind and her small fire would be gone. You're lucky. Mom won't even let me go outside. I'm like a princess in the tower. Can't go anywhere. I'll die from boredom here. You're wrong. No one has ever died of boredom. And you have me and your cartoons, and Mom and Dad. We'll be good to each other soon. You know what I would wish for on my next birthday? I'd wish for Mom and Dad to turn into children so we could go and play together like we used to. Yeah, and if you'd make them as small as bugs, we could place them into a little box. Olio giggled and tugged at my sleeve. Tony, let's go watch Aladdin. Fatigue won over my desire to be with my sister. I washed over by some sort of heinous apathy. I'm too tired. I don't want to. Come on. It's so boring alone, and Mom is always busy. We can pick a cartoon you haven't seen before. I know all of our tapes by heart at this point. Not all of them. You haven't watched Peter Pan. Remember how you fell asleep in the middle of it? And so much happened after that. Let's go. Maybe a bit later. Should I tell you how it ends? Let's leave that for tomorrow. I won't tell you tomorrow. I know. Let's play hide and seek. No, Alia. Then draw me a dino. Alia, please. Draw it. Will you leave me alone already? I blurted it out without thinking, and then I was immediately taken aback. I never screamed at my sister like that. Alia stared at me in shock. Her lips started trembling. A precursor to tears. My chest was seething with disgust, and embarrassment. What's happening to me? I hurried to prevent Alia from crying. Alright, you win. Let's go watch cartoons for a bit. I don't wanna. I came up to her, put my hand on her soft head. Let's go. Let's go watch Peter Pan. Boo. You'll fall asleep again. I smiled and lifted her chin. Her eyes were wet and felt bottomless. I promise I won't. And I'll draw you a full triceratops later. Hooray! Triceratops. Well, close enough. Alia rubbed her eyes with the sleeve of her pajamas, and a shining smile returned to her face. I'll go ask Mom for condensed milk and bread, and you rewind the tape. The bread is fresh, just how you like it. Alright, just be careful not to spill the milk, or you'll be yelled at again. Wanna bet I won't spill it? The tape is somewhere in the nightstand. Look for it. Alia disappeared into the doorway, and I dragged my feet into the neighboring room. Alia has countless toys. An old teddy bear is the main attraction here. Alia doesn't sleep without it. She digs her nose into its fur when she sleeps. A piggy bank. Alia is saving money for a real puppy because Dad said that taking care of him will take a lot of money. Is there anything else? The old photon TV was gathering dust in the corner. All that was left was clicking the button on the front panel. The tube warmed up, and a familiar white noise started dancing on the black screen. I almost reached out to turn on the VCR when the noise calmed down and a blurry image appeared for a moment. It was a dark tiger forest, just like the one outside my window. The picture split the screen in half. Something creepy resembling a human speech was coming out of the speaker. Just a few moments later, the scenery was gone, shadowed by noise. They catch some rogue channel. The local TV station was only really showed Soviet cartoons, and even that was pretty rare. And only just recently, I used to always watch Robotech before school. It was so awesome. Maybe I should tinker with the antenna. What if I catch this channel again? On the other hand, Olya had asked me to find the tape. It wouldn't be nice to disappoint her. But in my sleepy state, I didn't have enough strength to do all of that. I sifted through the shelves, full of dolls and blue hippos from Kinder Surprise. I found the tape I needed, thanks to its shabby spine. I got the black rectangle from its box. The tape inside rustled while rewinding to the beginning. This rustle was lulling me to sleep. The drowsiness attacked me while I was guarding before the TV. Images whirled in my head, me and Olya flying above the forest, tumbling in the soft clouds. My sister is laughing, but her smile becomes more and more forced with every passing second. I noticed that the clouds underneath us part, bearing the bristly pine tops. Swampy darkness slurped among the trees. The wings are no longer able to hold us and Olya. You haven't started without me, have you? My sister brought the tray with unevenly cut bread and a whole can of condensed milk. That's a lot. Why would you need to drink that much? Okay, I'm gonna have to leave it off here because I don't want this video to become too long. So I'm gonna leave it off here. It's a little bit longer than my other ones, I'm pretty sure though, so yeah, whatever. I got sucked into it, but I'm gonna have to leave it off here. Sorry guys. Leave a like, subscribe, press the bell notifications, and I'll see you all later with the next episode of Tiny Bunny. See you all later. Bye.